I seen on your website,
Mm-hmm.
I seen it mentioned a couple times about suicide
Yeah.
and how you support, that and whatever. But what can you tell us anything about that? Because I deal with it. I've dealt with it personally
Have
with
you?
either myself and family. I have a brother that suffers greatly all the time
With
with
depression?
yeah, with depression and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
different things that they've diagnosed him with. So can you speak on that a little bit? I mean, I just, for everybody that's watching, I would love for some of that
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Um, you know, Suicide is definitely one of those things that, just like divorce, people don't want to talk about it. We know it's there.
Exactly. And
We
that's why I'm
heard
bringing it
about
up.
it,
Right.
but we don't like to talk about it.
Exactly.
Especially suicide. It's the
Right.
10th leading cause of death in the United States of America. 10th.
Wow.
And the third one is heart disease.
Mm.
So you think later down the line, people are dying from heart disease, you can kind of make sense of it. And then you get down the line and say the 10th reason of everybody dying or people dying is by suicide. That's kind of scary.
Yeah.
That means that only 7 numbers away, one is uncontrolled and one is controlled, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're controlling, they have the option to choose to take their own life.
Yes.
One of the main reasons why people do that is because of loss of hope.
Yes.
When we lose hope in ourselves, when we lose hope in a situation, when we lose hope in life,
right,
it's a signal to our brain that says, what's the point? What's the point? What is the point? Right. There's nothing here for me. There's nothing there for me. This is not going to work. That's not going to work. No relationship worked. Blah, 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 blah. Reason I know that is because in my first and third book, I talk about how I had suicide ideation where I thought about it. I had suicidal thoughts. I was considering it. I was thinking about what would it be like? What would I do? How could I get out of this situation? And you think about how low a person has to go to where they are so stressed out that their only option becomes taking their own life.
Ooh, yeah.
And it's scary because I face that as a crisis counselor. I face that often. People are calling me because they have no hope.
Yes.
No hope. And in the state of our world now, just within the last 6 months, I'm curious to know, because I do a lot of research. I'm curious to know what the numbers are going to be like. Because people lost their jobs this year, and that's one of the main reasons why people lose suicide. The loss of hope is the last step. Situations lead up to that: loss of a job, loss of marriage, loss of a child, loss of some, and they get to a point to where there's no hope.
There's nothing else.
People are losing their houses, people are losing their jobs, their cars.
Why am I here?
Exactly.
This ain't gonna work,
Exactly. And so I've been trained. I went through a whole weekend of training for suicide to get my national suicide prevention specialist certification.
Okay.
And then I did a second one again a couple of years ago. And it was hard. Well, I didn't sleep the entire weekend.
It's hard just hearing you talk right now. I'm like,
yeah, but imagine, and if you said you've been there before, but imagine how many people in the world you walk by in the grocery store that you're sitting next to in church, or probably not now because of COVID, but that you sat next to on a bus, in school, at work, people just standing up at the microwave in the break room, and you think about how many people feel the way that I just described.
Well, my daughter's stepmother did commit suicide. Actually, it's my ex-husband's last wife. We actually were going through trauma on both ends and found each other. But it was just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just two people broken for real.
Yeah,
and that's how we
absolutely.
did it. But so I understand because I knew her. That's my daughter's stepmother. So you know what I mean? I definitely, and we're talking about a smiling face every time you see this person. So I do firsthand understand, and I know how it feels to see someone and then know like, wow, that's what they're going through. And even for myself, for my brother, whatever, you know. So it's a big, like you said, it's a big issue, and it's an issue that no one likes to talk about. But I seen that, and I was like, that's me. That's what. This is the place. This is a safe place, and that's what I want the show to be about. A safe place.
Absolutely.
For us to talk about the real stuff. That, you know, everything we do and what we look like on Instagram, that's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's cute.
there's some real things.
Right. And imagine even just stating alone Instagram. I mean, how many people are on Instagram posting these pictures, and they're all, and we idolize them. We look at their pictures. Oh my God, I want a booty like that. Oh my God, look at her teeth. Look at her boobs. And you know, the next week she could have committed suicide, or she has suicide ideation.
And thinking about it at that moment, you know.
And so educationally, more men commit suicide than women. And when men do commit suicide, they commit suicide more violently than women. They use guns, things like, women are probably going to be taking pills or something a little less violent. But men typically are the ones that commit suicide more than a woman.
I just I got my QPR certificate like about a month and a half ago.
I'm sorry,
my mom.
QPR. I'm sorry, real quick.
QPR is question, persuade, respond.
Okay. I just wanted to know so I know exactly what.
Yeah, my mom, she attempted suicide twice within the last 5 years. And,
wow.
And it's weird because when I was younger, I literally told family members, I was like, I think my mom is suicidal. I literally said it because I could tell where she was allowing a lot of things to just, you know, the walls were closing in on her, and she wasn't pushing back. You know, a little bit of that pressure probably came from me being like, hey, you know, work things out with my pops, you know, for me, you know, because I was caught up in, you know, the TV version of a family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to work out no matter what. So she held on probably a little bit longer than she should have.
Yeah.